just brought your brand new 1974 Satellite Sebring home to the family. They'll love it. But that nosy guy next door is going to want to know why you picked Satellite, right? Like, did you drive it? How does it handle? What about performance? Did you check the maintenance schedule? Well, you might as well give him the facts. Start with an important thing, like electronic ignition. Your Satellite comes with electronic ignition standard. To get it on Torino, you have to buy a bigger engine. Chevelle doesn't offer it. This can mean longer life for your spark plugs, up to 18,000 miles. There aren't any points or condenser to replace. Without electronic ignition, you should replace points and plugs at 12,000 miles. Show him the engine coolant recovery system. While his antifreeze boils into the driveway, yours is being stored away. Torino doesn't offer it except with a trailer towing package. Point out the electronic voltage regulator. Compare the electronic with the mechanical, like you find on Torino. The electronic has no moving parts, so there isn't anything to wear out. It even helps prolong battery life. Tell them about your engine choices. Depending on the model, you could take the standard 318 V8 or choose a 360, 400, or a 440 cubic inch engine. Show them the steel-belted radial tire option. They come with a tire manufacturer's guarantee of 40,000 miles tread life. They're a good investment. Tell them how the windshield pillow and roof have been beefed up. Go ahead, whack it. Harder. See? Or take him around back. Show him the trunk. You bought an intermediate, and you still got plenty of trunk space. That big opening is important. Makes it easy to load and unload. And if he still needs more convincing, get him inside. Let him admire the detail on the instrument panel. The upholstery is smart-looking and the seat backs are full-volume foam, designed for comfort and a smooth fit. Point to the gauges that tell you the condition of the alternator, gas supply, and engine temperature. Chevelle had warning lights for battery and engine temperature. They don't go on until you're in trouble. Your owner's manual tells you there is no recommended maintenance for torque flight under normal driving conditions. Torino has to have band adjustments, and Chevelle has to have filter and fluid changes. Think of the savings with torque flight. Incidentally, you were impressed by the size of the glove box in the Satellite, and you were impressed by some differences in manufacturers' suggested retail prices for equipment. Your air conditioner costs less. Your power brakes cost less than Torino or Chevelle. Tell him you got an electric rear window defogger. You could only get the blower type on Chevelle. Show him the sunroof. It's manually operated, so it's priced a lot lower than Torino's and Chevelle's. You wanted speed control, a great convenience, and the price is about $40 less than Torino's. Chevelle doesn't offer one. Why not explain that you looked at Torino and Chevelle before you bought your Satellite? Tell them what you saw. Seat back latches are hard to get at, and the seat belts made it pretty tough for backseat passengers to get inside. Same thing with Torino. Satellite put the seat back latches where they were handy for passengers. Tell them how the small trunk openings on Torino and Chevelle made it tough to load the trunk. You might show them how the Chevelle Malibu has no drip molding, unless you buy a special $34 package. Of course, it's standard on your Satellite. Tell your neighbor how the wiper well looked unfinished in both Chevelle and Torino. especially when you compared it to your satellite. You might demonstrate how Plymouth mounted that's right, 4 washer jets on the wiper arm to make window cleaning a fast, slick job. Point out that you can lower the rear windows on satellite hardtops. Both Chevelle and Torino have fixed rear windows. Now, maybe that will never bother the driver, but there's no way the backseat passengers can adjust airflow. Satellite is the only real hardtop in the bunch, and you had 2 different vinyl roof styles to choose from, the canopy type and the halo type. You can't get true hardtop styling on either Chevelle or Torino. They both have a post in the middle. There's a lot of difference in the details. Chevelle has single headlights. Satellite gives you double headlights for better light distribution. And speaking of details, this Chevelle molding is optional, and it's still unfinished. Compare it to the smooth standard molding on Satellite. Chevelle has a big gap in front of the hood. Doesn't even have weather stripping to keep out dirt and rain. Still think he needs convincing, huh? Well, you can take him for a ride. That should do it. Wait till he sees how the Satellite gobbles up bumps. Couple of reasons for this. One, because Satellite has a longer wheelbase, 115 inches. That's 3 inches longer than Chevelle and 1 inch longer than Torino. It's designed to complement our torsion bar suspension. It's a different way of obtaining a comfortable ride. Another advantage, you can easily adjust torsion bars for height. That's not possible on Ford and Chevy's coil springs. If he happens to mention about how quiet your Satellite is, you can explain all about the sound-deadening material they put in your car. You might point out another difference. Your Satellite has unibody construction. More than 4,000 welds join body panels into a strong single unit. And if you think we go to extra care on our bodies, you should see the care we give our engines. This is an electronic engine function tester. It checks the engine for correct exhaust pressure pulses, one of the keys to a smooth-running, durable engine. Pretty impressive list, isn't it? Durability, style, extra details, low maintenance, practical price, low-cost options. What's this? Your neighbor bought a new car, too? It's a Plymouth Satellite sedan. And why not? It has most of the same great features you liked on the Satellite Sebring. Electronic ignition standard, unibody, torsion bar suspension. Maintenance costs are easy on the pocketbook, plus room for a family of 6. As a matter of fact, he has to agree. Extra care in engineering. It makes a difference.